Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing The Letter of the Kings. Or of the King, The Letter of the King. I'm gonna do spoiler free than spoilers just in case you haven't watched it yet. It's a new Netflix series that is a 6 episode series. I just watched it all. Um, and I will say it's pretty damn good. There are a few problems with it, of course, but minor ones in my opinion. Uh, I'll try to tell you them without spoiling it, and then I'll tell you the good stuff about it. Uh, let's see. The problems without spoiling it. First off, the plot was very predictable except for one part, but I can't really tell you that part without spoiling it, so. But anyways, the plot was pretty predictable. You could tell it was going to happen. Um, Second off, for some reason, I don't know if this was my TV or if it was the actual show itself, but for some reason, or maybe it was my internet connection, although my internet connection is usually good, but for some reason, like, it was a little bit furry, like fuzzy at times, even though, like, it's supposed to be HD, it was, like, a little bit fuzzy at times. The lighting would change from scene to scene really quickly too. Sometimes it'd be really bright and just dark, bright, dark, bright, dark. It was kind of weird. I don't know if that was my TV or if it was the actual show. Um, but all in all, it was just weird. I don't know why it was doing that. Maybe it was my TV, but it's never my TV has never done that with any other Netflix show or anything, to be honest. So I don't think it was. But maybe it was my internet, but I don't know. My internet seems to be working pretty fine, so I don't know. Maybe that was a show. um, so that was something that was a little bad. Uh, let's see what else was bad. Uh, some of the characters were like side characters. They weren't like the best, I guess, but they were okay. They were average. Um, hmm. I guess I don't really have anything else to say that was bad. It's a pretty good show. The acting was pretty good. The story was good, even though very predictable. And it left room for a sequel. And I will tell you that in the spoiler section because can't tell you it without spoiling it. But all in all, I would say pretty good show with some negatives, but pretty good show. The good outweighs the negatives. And the negatives are there, though. As I already stated, predictable. The whole fuzzy and screen thing was kind of weird, but that might have been my TV. I don't know. Um, I know this is a small nitpick, but some of the stuff did not seem like it'd be from that time. Seemed more futuristic, but whatever, I guess. Accuracy, who cares? It's a TV show. Uh, the special effects were okay. Some of the things didn't really make sense though. Like at one point, this girl goes to get these people, but they weren't there in the first place, and they were super far away from where they were. But I guess that's just plot convenience. I guess that's another negative. I guess some things are just plot convenience. Like at the end, the girl just kind of pops up. I'll tell you about that in the spoiler section. It's kind of weird. So yeah, there's a lot of plot conveniences in there, and some things happen off screen. It's kind of like meh. It's kind of lame. Mainly one thing I can think about. But anyways, that's spoiler free. Pretty good show. I suggest going to watch it. And it was good. Anyways, now to the spoiler section. Okay, so spoiling the show. Um, well, basically, the show's all about this guy, this kid who is trying to be a knight. His dad's trying to push him, his stepdad, I guess, trying to push him to be a knight. but he can't get there because he's not like a knightly type. He's not like strong and like he's not strong and stuff like that. He's not really brave. He's kind of just like this nerdy kid. Eventually, his dad pays someone off to get him to be a knight. Um, and then he goes on to go through the trials, and he goes to one trial, but then someone asks him to help because his master is dying. The knight that has the scroll that he needs to give, or the letter. He needs to give this letter to the king, and he has this letter. And this night we see him before get the letter, but then we see him the next time we see him, he's like dying. So that's kind of weird. That's like the main thing that was like skipped, I guess. There's other small things skipped, but that was the main thing skipped. But yeah, he's dying. The boy takes the letter and he goes on his journey. And on the way, he meets a girl. And this is the one I didn't see. Because supposedly, like, there's this talk about magic and how one person's going to be able to defeat the magic. And it turned out to be the girl and not the boy. At first, it seemed like all those things were pointing towards the boy, but then it seems like it was the girl. So it was pretty interesting to see that. That was pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty fun. Um, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, pretty cool, pretty fun. So that was probably the best part about the plot, because the other plot was kind of tellable. It's all about a plot of this king trying to take over all the power, and he also has magical powers, and he's part of the darkness. He doesn't realize he's the darkness. He thinks he's the good guy. A classic person who's the bad guy thinking they're the good guy. Pretty classic. And then he meets these other knights that turn out to be his friend at the end, even though they were his enemies. And then one always has to betray the group, and you can kind of tell, like, oh, that's the one that's gonna betray the group. And then there was like this scene with the gay couple, and I like you couldn't tell they were gay at first, but when that scene happened, it's like he's gonna kiss that guy. Not bad, but tellable. You know, it's very predictable. And then at the end, somebody had to die. You couldn't tell someone was gonna die, but at the end, once the guy was stabbed, you're like, he's gonna die. So very predictable, but very good story, I guess, at the same time. So you can look past the predictability. By the way, the sequel bait I was talking about, if I mentioned that, I think I did. There was some sequel bait. Now I will tell you what it is. So the first one is that the queen got infected with dark magic, and we never had a follow-up to that. Maybe that was like a deleted scene or something like that, but we never got a follow-up to that. So she was infected by dark magic, which still might be inside of her. So that's a thing. The magical girl, the girl companion of our knight, she still has not gone down the road to the golden road of the mountains or whatever to find her mother or anything, and plus we don't know why she has magic, which I'm assuming her mother would know about, or maybe even her father to a lesser extent. So that's another plot route we can take, you know, like she doesn't know her past, she doesn't know her mother, so she's gonna go down this road, and obviously our night boy is gonna go with her because they're kind of a thing. Third one is that our night boy, I know, I forgot the names. He doesn't know who his true father was, so there could be a whole thing with that. Like he could be going to look for his father and like his past and all that good stuff. Be pretty cool. I guess there could be like a different story where it's like another kingdom might attack or something like that. Could be other stuff. Maybe another darkness. Maybe another magical powered person. But yeah, those are the ones I could think about off the top of my head for sequel bait. But it seemed like the story kind of wrapped up at the end, like in a nice little neat bow. But there is potential for sequels there. I think if this show does good enough, it will get a sequel. I mean, not a sequel. I mean, it will get a season 2. But anyways, it was pretty good, and I suggest watching it if you haven't watched it. But I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. That's the best way to keep my channel. And yeah, stay sane, my friends. Peace. Pretty fucking good, though.
I will eat you, and you will be in my belly. You will be the 18th, or perhaps it will be the first. I don't know. But all I know is that it's delicious to eat.